Hello everyone, great to see you. I am now in another friend's kitchen. I am in a great place with great friends, Fabian and Magda, here outside of Krakow, Poland. So welcome to Move On Mondays with me, Nancy McCready. Today I want to ask you, what do you think is the greatest strategy right now for this time that we are in history? What do you think the greatest strategy is? Now, I'm getting ready to tell you what I think the greatest strategy is right now for this time in history in the church that he is building, that I think is going to be the most effective, producing, sustainable, effective work and plan. And that is something that I labor towards, that I'm working towards. It's how I live myself. But I wanted to read to you, here is the very simple definition. Hey, everybody, this is the very simple definition of strategy. Strategy is a plan of action designed to achieve a long-term and overall aim. It is a plan of action. God has a plan. Now, it always begins first and primarily in us personally. And so I know that many of you may be going through much struggle, much frustration, and I definitely understand. Because when you are leaving old ways and you are literally in the real time, experiential work of God, it is real. It is really happening, and you are really going through what can feel like death inside of you that's giving birth to resurrection life. Not just giving birth to, I feel better, I am happier. No, I'm talking about a death that is working in you. Thanks for all the hearts. I don't know who's sending them, but thank you so very much. All right, but it is really happening, okay? So there's real death, okay? The death that the cross produces is really working in you, okay? Because resurrection life, by its name, only comes out of death. So it's really giving birth to life, and the preparation is so powerful. So of course, what is this strategy that I think is the main strategy God is working on is abiding. And now I know a couple of y'all just rolled your eyes, so stop it right now, okay? All right, listen to me carefully. Whatever it is that God is leading you into, calling you to, saying be obedient, all that. Well, how shall you, first of all, hear him, and how will you know that? And then how will you carry that out is going to be the same way that Jesus lived, in deep, abiding oneness. To be able to hear him, then to be able to carry that out, to be able to walk it out day by day. If God is leading you, okay, now this is where it's got to get really clear and really specific. You have to sit up straight, put your shoulders back, put your head up high in the royal dignity that God has returned to you. According to Romans 8, he has returned a heavenly dignity to you. Is you are going to need to be responsible to decide what are those next steps that he's leading you to take. It isn't always for someone else to tell you that. And I'm telling you that in the days to come, this oneness where we all have to hear him, to be able to move with him and move with each other in a spirit-induced unity, this is going to have to happen. This is going to have to happen so powerfully that you have to hear from him and begin to walk that out, okay? You have to be able to hear that. So right now, some of the difficulty that you may have, hey Sharon in Iowa, I love you, and hello to you, is that you have to be learning to hear him. That can be a little bit frightening. And so I want you to understand that in this real-time process, you're weaned away from the opinions of others. Any of you out there that I've ever mentored you and had the privilege of having any influence in your life whatsoever, guess what? I'm going to encourage you to hear him the same way that I do. So you may be weaned away from a level of dependency. I didn't say you'd have to break off relationships necessarily, but you might be being weaned off of a certain level of dependency upon those whom God gave you for a specific season of your life. But hopefully, if they're really from him, they have been encouraging you to press in more to him. Because ultimately, we all have to take responsibility for the decisions that we're going to make. Nobody else needs to be your hero or your villain. This is about you pressing in. This is why I've been talking about that with abiding, there comes intelligent risk. Intelligent risk is that it is intelligent to obey God. It's intelligent to know his will and to walk in it. But it is still risky, my friends. It is risky to follow God, but it's the best kind of risk. It's the kind that is actually going to produce. All right, like me right now. I am in Europe. And there are people that are still saying to me, wait a minute, Nancy, you're not supposed to be in Europe. Isn't there a ban? And I said, well, I was given permission legally and righteously to enter in. But I had to be willing to do what was necessary, take the risk. They could have said no. They said yes. And one of the things that the Lord had said to me was, who told you you couldn't move around freely? Who told you that? And I think if we are not careful, I think we are going to take this lockdown to an extreme, okay? And we're going to be putting off the things that God wants to be birthing and wants to be continuing and wants to be doing during this time. This is not downtime. This is development time. So this abiding and hearing and taking intelligent risk, all of that is very, very, very key. Thank you. Who is sending all those hearts? That really encourages me. Thank you. I tell y'all this, I am a long way away from home. I feel like Poland is my second home, but I'm telling you, I really appreciate seeing all of that, okay? But this is very key. So the number one strategy that I believe, this is what real discipleship produces, is the abiding strategy. We have all got to press into him more and more. Lean in. Holy Spirit, I want to abide. So begin to take me deeper in. That means we will be hearing him, listening, making decisions, taking intelligent risk, making decisions that maybe we never thought we would have to make. We're a little surprised that they may be required. That there may be timing in that, okay, that we have to really watch that timing with him. All of these things are a part of the real maturing, the real abiding process. And so one of the things that you'd have to look at, all right, is that if you're going to keep moving with him, so welcome to Move on Mondays, all right, is that moving with him and being willing to step forward in this very powerful strategy. Everybody's got to be obeying him, pressed into him. Is you have to ask yourself, what else have you been one with? Okay, because if you're going to abide in him, then anything else that you've been tightly joined to that's not of him, or its season has passed, you're going to have to deal with that. So what else are you one with? Have you been one with fear? Are you one with old dependencies, being dependent maybe upon people? And now it's time for you to shift more into, looking at what is God really telling you to do. Old dependencies, old addictions that may be trying to resurface. And I want you to know this. Sometimes because you are really moving forward with him, which means you are coming into greater levels of maturity and clarity, and you've come through some things in your own life where there has been personal victory, and yet it seems like those things are trying to come back. I want you to listen to me very carefully. If the enemy can deceive you, confuse you into you thinking that the things that are visiting you right now are yours personally, and you're going to have to fight that fight again for you, no, it's because of where you're going. and because that which you have had victory, that God has given you victory over in your life personally, you're about to step into territory to help bring others into freedom, then that very thing tries to get you entangled again and think that that's you. And so you're like, devastated, discouraged. You're like, I can't believe I'm fighting this again. Okay, it's not your fight. Okay, listen to me carefully. You've got to fight the right fight at the right time. And right now, I would strongly suggest to you that if you have known victory in a certain area, but it feels like it's trying to revisit, I want you to get up to a higher place with Him, and I want you to recognize it's because now that you're free, He's about to send you in to bring others out. I don't know what that looks like. That might be by intercession. That might be, I don't know. Those are your specifics to know. But here's what I'm saying to you is that when you begin to obey and abide and walk and decide and live an intelligent risk, all of those things, He's getting you ready, my friends, to not just be focused on yourself for the rest of your life. Oh, I love those hearts. All right. He is getting you ready to fight the right fight at the right time, which is for going forward in your assignment. For me, it is moving forward in the assignment that He's given me. I don't know yet if new nations are going to open up. I'm certainly, very, very open for that. But I know that within Poland, I tell you, we're shifting gears. We're going in. Things are happening. It is time to move. And that's not known because people are excited about your ministry. That's because God is speaking and saying, I want you to move with me. And I believe that is why He sent me here twice during this pandemic, is that I have been here. There's been favor for the assignment, done legally and righteously, to come in, to do what we do, to be able to work with those here. And yet I believe that it's because there's something getting ready to happen, and we've got to move with God in real-time engagement. Do not believe the lie that you've got to settle and sit still and do something other than your God-given assignment for this time because you're just sitting around waiting for the COVID to lift. Listen to me carefully. Don't run off doing stuff just to prove you can do it. But I'm talking about abiding, greatest strategy right now, the greatest plan of action designed to achieve a long-term and overall aim is abiding. What's the next great move of God? You and Him moving as one together. Whatever that's going to look like, do not just take no for an answer. If God is saying yes, and God is saying it's time to move, because He is moving in real time. Listen to me, my friends. This is not a move of God that we're going to control. God is moving, okay? And we are walking with Him in real time, hearing Him. And He's saying, meet this person, do this, here we go. This is what's happening. And I'm watching Him make the provision. I'm watching Him open the doors. And I'm saying this to you in your life, in your private world, in maybe ministry, in business. I want to encourage you to know this number one, in my opinion, number one strategy to achieve the overall aim of God. It is abiding in oneness with Him. That's where all production comes from. That is where everything comes from. Everything. And all that we're going to need to hear His voice, to know how to move, to know how to build, to know how to strategize, to know how to have relationship with people for the kingdom being able to be built and the things that God is doing, because I'm telling you, what is about to happen, we have never seen before. There is no real blueprint for us to go back and look at from the olden days, all right? We are moving forward with Him, and it is powerful, it is awesome, it is wonderful. But I want you to be encouraged, and I want you to move with Him in real time. That's why it's called Move on Mondays. I don't want you to dread Mondays. Whatever you shouted amen to on Sunday, let's get to it. This is our real life. This is not 2 hours of church on Sunday. This isn't just a nice live here on Facebook. This is our life, and we are His sons. And He is going to be working and moving through us. I want you to be invigorated in your faith to move with Him. So, there you have it. I want you to move with Him. So, who told you you couldn't move? Who told you you couldn't go? It's time to fight the right fight for the right reasons in the right places with the right people. And do not be deceived to think that everything coming at you is just about you personally. If you've had personal victory, then more than likely it's God is getting you ready to go in for others. And the enemy wants to deceive you and get you entangled thinking somehow this is you. You haven't really made any progress. It's just the same old thing. No, it's not. Okay? So, I love you. I'm so glad to be where I'm at right now. Can't wait to get home, but I'm fully engaged where I'm at. I hope you're doing the same. And so right now, I've got, after I leave Krakow, I have 3 more powerful cities and churches to go and be with. But there are new strategies coming. The new Producer's Way, the Producer's Way online portal. We are building behind the scenes. We are getting things ready. What are you doing during this time? What are you doing during this time? It's not downtime. This is development time. Because I'm telling you, we're about to emerge and we've got to be ready to get others ready. So I want you to be challenged in this today. And I want you to know that I'm working and laboring during this time, because when we emerge, it is going to be powerful because God has a plan. And the strategy for that plan is abiding. So I'm so glad that you guys were on here with me today. So, hey, Aaron, love you. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Michael and Nikki. Hey, Reini, good to see you on here. And Eddie in Brazil. Oh, a lot of Polish people are on here with me. Yes. And it's great to see you, all of you guys. Now, I also want to remind those of you, it's going to be in English and Polish. I am going to be at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time and 4 p.m. Poland time. My good friend Magda and I will be doing a split screen live on Instagram. So go over to Instagram at NB McCready and connect with me there on Instagram. And then at 4 o'clock today, Magda and I will be doing a split screen. I'll be doing it in English and she'll be doing it in Polish. And then we'll be able to share some things there. So I hope that you will hop over there. Now, the one from last week, all these things are already being uploaded onto my YouTube channel. So go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel and encourage others to do the same. Because this is where we're putting everything that we're doing. We're putting everything there that we can. We're making things available on the podcast. Everything we're gearing towards producing producers for this hour, for this time, okay? This is real-time engagement, my friends, all right? So look at all of you. Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Mary Lou. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Candace. Wow, Rachel. Erica. Oh, this is fantastic. Thank you guys so much for being on here with me, and I am looking forward to us being together in so many different ways, okay? But for this one aim, it is for Him and to move with Him, okay? Be encouraged today. All right, I love you guys. I'll read all the comments when I get off, okay? If there's anything you need to say to me, give to me, speak to me, ask me, please go to Nancy at nancymccready.com. I answer all my own email. You can go over to Instagram at NB McCready. You can go to Tent Talk Podcast and check it out there. You can Marco Polo me. I do Marco Polo quite a bit, all right, especially when I'm traveling. So please connect. Please connect, all right? Love you all, and I will see you soon. Bye.